Okay, that's fine. But I was I was informed that you were around 40 students, if I'm right, class rep. But if you look at the number here, then where are the rest? Class rep, where are the rest of the students?
Yes, sir. So we are 40, but they are not joining. They will also find it difficult in the link, so they will come.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So
Kindly, kindly work on that. All right. So we can proceed, right?
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So, class, so my name is Kwame Owusu Afram, and I'll be handling this particular course that will go through for about 8 to 9 weeks. And I'll send you, after today, I'll send you the course outline so you'll see how the course has been structured and what's expected of us to do every week. And then generally what will be done by the end of the semester. You see your expectations, and then uh, you know how to read around the course. But it's a very simple course. It's not that difficult. It's very, very flexible. In terms of reading, there are books that are recommended for you to read, and some other materials that you may also look at them, okay, to prepare for the examination. Okay, so apart from the days that have been scheduled for us to meet online, face to face, we'll be meeting online as usual because of the design of your course and your class. And so every Saturday at 9:15, we have to be ready for the class. In the course of the lectures, not today, but actually as the weeks go by, I think there will be a week that's allotted for us to have an IE, which is the internal assessment for the course. And then we also do the end of semester examination. Again, we will also be required to, as part of the assessment for the course, normally what I do is you are placed in groups, different groups, and then you work on a project, management challenge. So you work on a project, and then you can, at the end of the project, you come and do a presentation in the groups so that marks are awarded to the groups. But for the years, we've realized that that really helps students to gain marks for the course. So this year too, or this class, hopefully we'll also be taking that kind of management challenge to be able to get some marks for course. For my class, normally the class is just we do the normal lecturate, then the students will, if you have questions, because you've read ahead, you have questions, you can just interject anytime. You bring on your questions, and then the questions are answered, or we try to discuss around. But it's expected that students participate fully in the class, or every student is supposed to participate fully in the class. For you, you are a joint class of procurement and I think logistics class or so. And so management, principles of management is a broad course. It's not really a core course for you, but it's a broad course. But because of its importance, see that you are supposed to participate fully, even though it's a broad course, but it's a 3 hour, it's a 3 credit hour course. So you're supposed to do very well in it. I tell students that if there's any course for you to get A, and then it should be principles of management. But that will depend on how you participate fully in the discussions in class, you attend the class regularly, and then you take part in all the assessments, and then obviously you also put up your best, or you do well in the examinations, and that will earn you the score. All these things that I've said, when I'm giving you the slide, the outline, course outline, you will have them. It will be stated in it. Is that okay? Please, is that okay? We're supposed
Yes,
to
sir.
we're supposed to go around, and then as I've introduced myself, the class also each and everyone introduces himself or herself so that we get to know as we kickstart the class. But normally I don't like to do that online. When we meet face to face, then we do it. So I'll get to know you as you participate in the class. And then the day that we'll have our in-person lectures, then we'll get to know ourselves better. If that's okay by you, then we can proceed. Class rep.
Yes, sir, that's fine.
All right. So the class is Principles of Management. If you look at it, then it's actually going to discuss the fundamentals of management, or the foundational principles of management, what grounds management as a discipline. So you take management is also a discipline, just as maybe you have sociology, you have even procurement now as a discipline, logistics, supply chain. Okay, you have human resource management, you have any other discipline. Management is just like those disciplines. But when you say principles, then you are looking at what grounds the management as a discipline, the basic foundations of that. If you build a house, you will first put up a foundation. Okay, you dig the ground and then you put out the foundation. Sometimes people are of the view that it is at that stage that you ground, or you make the house strong. So you put up a very strong foundation, then you will have a durable or a very strong house. So mostly they use stones. You have to use stones for that foundation. You concentrate more and put stones in the foundation. So when the house is built on a stone, it becomes unshakable. Okay, whilst it stands amidst all the weathers. And so people concentrate more on the foundation. That is true. So when you look at the management principles, those are the pillars. Those are the foundations that the principle or the main discipline of management will stand on. Okay, and so it is a very important course. If you understand it, then you now get to understand what management is about. The whole discipline of management, what is it about? And how does management develops or evolves? So if you will anytime branch into any of the various areas or the various branches of management, then it is because you have grounded yourself very well in the foundations. And that is the principles of management. Please try and then get the understanding by participating fully so that it will not be difficult for you in the near future if you are to be studying any of the branches. And so, as we go through the lesson, the first lecture for today we'll be looking at what is management. I mean, the definition of it, what encompasses the definition, and how we ground we ground management or the foundations. Then we will also be looking at another time, we'll be looking at the evolution. How has management evolved? Okay. How did it start? And then where is it going, or where are we? You look at that, the trends and the evolution of management. Then we look at the environment. Management thrives in a certain environment. Okay, if you're talking about management principles, the management principles must work in some environment. How is it like? What is the new normal? How are people now doing their work? Okay, because management, we will get to understand, is about work. So doing your work well, doing your work right. So how is it happening in the modern organizations? Okay, so if you look at what is happening around, how are management being done? We'll look at that. We look at theories of management. So there are certain theories. I mean, for every discipline, there are theories that underpins that particular discipline. So management, as I told you, management is already a discipline, and there must be theories that are underpinning management. We have the scientific management, we have the behavioral theories, and a whole lot. We have the administration theory, or the management administration theories. And we look at some fathers of management, people who have studied management or who did the groundwork for us to understand what management is about. We'll look at their thinking and their thoughts, okay, philosophies concerning management. So all that will be discussed. Then we'll come and look at globalization. Okay, now everybody says that the world has become a global place, that we are almost like working in one team. We are almost like working in one organization. What is an organization? Okay, how does going global is, or what comes to mind when you hear globalization? Okay, we look at some certain elements of globalization. Then after that, we come and pick the management principles one after the other. So we look at the pillars, the 4 pillars of management, which are the 4 principles of management, and their school of thoughts behind them. Look at planning, look at organizing, look at leading, and look at controlling, and what encompasses each of them. For planning, for example, you need to understand what it means by saying decision making. How do you make decisions? How do you organize various alternatives to make a good decision that will make your organization thrive in this competitive and challenging system or environment? Then organizing, you look at the departmentalization of an organization, where structures are very important. So when you build structures, then you are able to build the people into work teams. And the work teams are what will achieve for the organization. If every team or every structure is achieving, then together the teams achieve for the organization. Then when we look at leading, we look at some important or popular leaders who have championed the cause of management in their organizations. Okay, look at how if you take maybe, let's say, people who the leadership styles that they have used over the years to be able to achieve. So, which of the leadership styles would you say that it's the best, or maybe it's right for your organization at any particular point in time? So that decision will be made. Then we'll go to monitoring and evaluation. That is the controlling, the appraisal systems that happens in an organization so that the organization is always brought back on track and do not deviate on its vision and mission. Okay. Then we'll discuss communication, which is a very important thing in the organization. That as teams work, then they must communicate effectively so that each and every individual in the organization will understand what is expected of them to do. Basically, these are the things that we'll do as we go through the course for the semester. Please, any questions? Hello?
Yes, sir. So we are
Yes,
here.
sir. Okay. So the method of teaching is the Socrates method, where I speak small, then I call you to also speak small. I hope you'll get that. So it's not going to be just me talking all the time. So I need to, and because I have your names displayed on my screen, I can just call anybody to speak. So now I have a hand up. So let me ask her to speak. Sandra Nketia.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Please, my name is Sandra. Sir, please, I can't see your screen. I don't know whether the problem is here or you're not sharing.
So that's the first thing that I'm not sharing. I've not started sharing any screen yet.
Oh, okay. Thank you, sir.
Today nobody is sharing any screen. We are all here. Let's trying to listen to ourselves. So listen. Okay. So like I said, I can call anybody to answer a question. Okay, so that to engage everyone so that you don't sleep. Fortunately for us, today or this semester the class is early morning, 9:15, and that is good. So 9:15 there. I don't think anybody will be sleeping around this time. But maybe we may be distracted because some of you are at home, some of you are in the shop, some of you are on your way, some of you have gone to the farm, and some of you are in a car. And so you may be distracted. But I hope that by 9:15, you should settle at a particular place and then be able to participate. It is not every time that I'll be sharing a screen, or as Sandra asked, I'll be displaying slides for you to be reading. No. I like to engage more. Sometimes we make the notes in the class together. I don't have any notes when I'm coming to the class. But when I come to the class, I write on the screen. You also write in your notes. We are making the notes together. So the answers you give, I put them in the notes. And the questions I also ask, I put them in the notes. So by the time the class is done, we all have written something. And that will engage you. I hope you understand that as well. So let me answer or let's all listen to Mumuni. I think Suleiman. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Yes, sir. Good to meet you. Good to meet you, sir.
Good to meet you too.
Yes, sir. So I want to make some few contribution to the subject matter, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. So management in this context, as you rightly said, deals with the process of planning, organizing, leadership, direction, controlling of scarce resource of an organization, be it private, public, or let's say NGO, non-governmental organization, sometimes for profit and non-profit purposes. So it includes human resource, that is the employees, financial resource of the organization, the physical resource, that's the equipment and materials. Then finally, we mention information technology in that context. So this has to do with how this involve planning, implementing, taking suggestions, getting feedback from employees and co-workers, communication, be it line and staff, vertical, horizontal, so that it will create an enabling environment for each other to contribute their quota to building and securing the objective of the organization. So in short, management is daily activities, and it involves everybody contribute to your quota to achieve the purpose and aim of that organization. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Solomon, thank you very much for the contribution. Okay. Please, any other question or contribution? Any other question or contribution? All right. Okay, so yes, Gabriel. Gabriel, please speak. Apao. Gabriel, if you can hear me, go ahead and speak. All right. It's not ready yet. Or maybe that's an old hand. Okay. If you can't speak, you can write your whatever you have in the chat box. Okay. All right. So first, we have to look at the definition of management, and Suleiman has contributed to that. All right. So simple question: what is management? And he has given us some definition of that. And I don't want to belabor that one. So you can look at it. But then from what he said, there are two things that stands out. And that is what I want to discuss with you today. Any definition of management that you give, look at it this way. When you have an organization, okay, you have an organization. I want to try and visualize something with you. If you have an organization, it will be equal to people, okay, plus goals. Goals, 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 or goal, GOAL. So an organization is equal to people. You have people in the organization and then plus goals. So the goals is more like the purpose. Why are we here? When you put two or more persons or people together, then you give them a purpose, something that they are supposed to achieve. Then that is how we are trying to define what an organization is. And that is so important. Please look at it that way. That I put two or three, or we are just about three persons together. Okay, then we have a goal that we are supposed to achieve this. Okay, so therefore, we clearly define what an organization is. Now, in terms of that, how do you now bridge the gap between the people and the goal? So the people are the human resource aspects of the organization. You need the human resource to man the organization, to man the goals. Okay. Now the goals stands for the vision, the mission, the purpose, all those things, everything. So if you have an organization that is working towards becoming the #1 procurement or supply chain industry in Ghana, that element of it's being the #1 supply chain industry in Ghana is what we are calling a goal. A goal. Underline that. It's a goal. And so the people are placed in a room or somewhere, and then you tell them that I want you to become the #1 supply chain industry in Ghana. Okay. So it means that you have given them something to work towards. So everything that they do is working towards achieving that particular thing. So now you have created an organization. But then you realize that the people are coming from different backgrounds with different understanding. Unlike you, who is the mastermind or the father of the goal, the people are not. The people who are working with you, who are there together in the room with you, are not. They are from different backgrounds. And so their understanding will be different. Okay? So because of that, you need a certain discipline, another discipline that will help you to be able to manage them. So that will help you to be able to manage the gap between the people and the goal. So normally we look at what is bridging the gap between the people and the goal, so that they will understand the goal, they will work in achievement towards the goal, and they will not do their own thing. And that is how and where management comes in. Okay, how management comes in. So it is the discipline of management that helps to be able to bridge the gap between the people and the goal, and manage the people so that they can achieve the goal or the purpose of the organization. So please, have you seen the picture? Put draw the people somewhere, then draw the goal somewhere, and then you see that in between that there's a gap, and then you put management in the gap, so that now the equation will now be equal to an organization. Without it, you just have people who are standing on their own. You have a goal that is standing on its own. And you see people without a goal, they are lost in the wilderness. A goal without people, how can a goal be achieved if there are no people or elements that is putting it into fusion? So they will all be standalone. And so you see that in between that is what we call management. Please, do you understand? Roland,
Yes, sir.
Roland, Kwasi, Eso, are you in the class today? And please, mind you, normally when I call your name, that I'm taking my attendance for the assessment. Attendance is supposed to be between 5 to 10 marks. So when I call your name and you are not there, then you lose the marks, because I know that some of you will join online and go and do their own things. That's not why we are here. We are supposed to be there at any time. So when I call your name, you don't respond. Even if you don't understand the question, just respond so that I know that you are in the class. Is that okay? All right. I hope you understand it. Okay. So I called Roland and he didn't respond. Roland, are you there? Okay. All right. So how about Rakia?
Sir, please, I'm here.
Okay. Did you understand what
Yes,
the
sir.
explanation I gave? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. All
You're
right.
welcome.
So, guys, if you understood it, then let's also visualize it this way. Assuming that you have now, the organization is now, let's say, GCTU, ICDE, courier services. Okay, that's our organization. Our organization's name is ICD Courier Services, and our purpose, or we exist, we are in operation because we take parcels and we deliver them to Kumasi. Okay, that's our organization. Our organization. We have created this organization because the goal is to deliver parcels from clients or customers in Accra to Ashanti region. Let's assume that is our. So we are working towards becoming the number one. Okay, so underline it, the best courier services in delivery of parcels from Accra to Kumasi. So that is this class, that's our organization, and that's what we do. Now, look at it this way, visual, and I want you to visualize it. How we can deliver the parcel. So if a customer comes to us today and says that I have this box and I want this box to get to Kumasi, you and I know and I understand that to get to Kumasi, there are so many ways that we can use, or many means that we can adopt in order to get the parcel to Kumasi. Okay, so many means. If you are running a courier services, there are so many means that you can adopt. So in terms of transportation, you can use the air freight, or you can go by air. You can also go by land. Okay, and the rail systems were working now. I know that they are not working maybe. So let's take that one out. But so it will be the air and then land, because we don't have the sea. So when you are using the air space, you can go by an aeroplane. So you go and put the parcel in the flight. Okay. Or you can maybe use drone technology. Okay. Or any other thing that you guys know when it comes to air. Then by land, you see that now land, there are so many means. By the bus, by a private car, by a motorcycle, you can name them. I hope you are visualizing what I'm talking about. So you see that we have all these alternatives at our disposal to be able to get this parcel of our clients to the Ashanti region. You see? So somebody can just say, okay, let me do it. And then we'll adopt one of the ways in terms of transportation and do it. So in terms of, apart from transportation, in terms of the human resource, you can also ask one of our members. So let's say maybe Rakia, we ask Rakia to go along with the parcel for the delivery. Okay. Or the delivery can go by itself. The bus can go by itself without Rakia accompanying it. So that is another thing that you can. Now, we say that all of those things are in isolation. And all of those things, even though they are being done, when you bring management into the equation, as we have done, that management comes in to now manage the people towards achieving the goal. There are two important things that management will do. Number one, how effective are we? Okay, how effective are we in terms of our delivery? So, we want the parcel to get to Ashanti region. Our effectiveness is that the parcel will get to the Ashanti region without any doubt. That is effectiveness. We are reliable as an organization. People can depend on us that if they give us the parcel will be in Kumasi. And not just being in Kumasi, it will be in Kumasi by the time they want it to be there. So mark that. So you look at the time factor. Okay, the time factor. By saying that you are completing the activity so that the organization goals are attained. The goal is that we want the parcel to get to the Ashanti region. So you do everything possible so that it gets there. But let me also give you the limitations of that. You want the parcel to get to Kumasi. If it goes by the air, it will get to Kumasi. Okay. If it goes by the land, it will get to Kumasi. But when you use the bus will take 8 hours. Now, between 6 to 8 hours. When you use a motorcycle, guy to go and deliver, the motor will take also about 6-7 hours before it gets to Kumasi. When you use a private car, maybe the company has a private car. When you use the private car, the car can take, let's say, 4 hours. When you go by air, it can take like 45 minutes to get to Ashanti region. So all these various means are there for us. Okay. The first one, I said effectiveness. So to be able to attain the goal at the output, we set out to deliver a parcel. So that parcel must be delivered. Now, the second one is efficiency. Efficiency. And efficiency will now come in because we want to eliminate the waste. The waste. And I started by using time. It creates a lot of waste because, you see, if we are going to be delivering as a parcel, I mean, initially, a parcel to Kumasi was even taking days before it gets there. You send it today, you have to wait like next week, like posting a letter. If you post a letter to, let's say, just Ashanti region here or even Tema here, then the post office will tell you to take 14 days. Can you imagine? So they brought in a more efficient system called the EMS and said that this is our express gateway. The express now brought it down to half, maybe 6 days. And now people came in and said, no, it cannot be. Then they brought in FedEx and all those better, efficient system of mailing. And now a letter to Tema is taking not just 1 day, but it's taking just maybe 30 minutes. Or if you post a letter to Tema, it will take maybe just 30 minutes. In some of the courier services. And the Ghana Post did not change its system, and it became what? Obsolete. The Ghana Post, or the companies that were doing this, now collapsed. That is not what we are looking at in terms of effectiveness and efficiency. So, to understand very well, when you say efficiency, efficiency is doing things right. Please write it down. I hope you are making notes. Doing things right. So you are getting the most output from the least amount of input. That is, you are eliminating waste. There are so many waste. How should it be like you are sending a parcel to Ashanti region here and then it will take 2 days? I mean, it shouldn't be like that. How should it be like you are sending a parcel to Ashanti region and it will take 8 hours? No. When you have 40 minutes there, 45 minutes there, drone technology can get you within 1 hour or within this, is there. So efficiency comes in when you are eliminating waste. You are eliminating waste. Then the wasted part, you have to also look at it. It's not like we just say that, oh, let's get up and go and use the flight. No, because using the flight comes with cost, the high cost. So you look at the cost aspect of it, because we want to be efficient by putting in the least amount of input. Our cost should not be a very high cost. Our cost should just be putting in something small, but you are attaining high results. So we also look at cost factor. So if I compare, then I'll say, oh, then if because of the cost, the airplanes would have been the flights would have been the best, but the cost involved. How should I, or why should I send a box of parcel that the customer is paying me, let's say 50 cedis, then I'll go and use the flight that will take, even though it will get to Kumasi in 45 minutes, but I'm being charged, let's say 500 or 200 cedis for it. No, that will not be efficient. So then you do your calculations and you realize that, oh, if I put all these parcels in my van, my company van, then the company van will be able to drive to Ashanti region in 4 hours. And then the cost involved for every delivery will no more be 200, but it will be cost will be like 20 cedis for every delivery that happens within 4 hours. Okay, and that will be better. But we are not saying that the airplanes are not good, because DHL has started, in terms of international deliveries, is using the airplanes and even using drone technology. So that is got to do with the level of management that you have got into, because they receive millions of parcels that are coming to, let's say DHL has received millions of parcels. So in a day, or maybe let's say in a week, they have a full load, cargo load of an airplane that is coming to Ghana, so, or coming to Africa. So why would they waste their resources in terms of renting or in terms of paying another airplanes for them to do the delivery? So they will now do it themselves, and therefore they have acquired airplanes for their work. So that is how efficiency and management will come together, so that it will pull the outputs or the attainment of the goal for you in a very efficient. So we say efficiency and then effectiveness. Efficiency is doing things right. Effectiveness is doing the right thing. The right thing for us to do is to deliver the parcel in Ashanti region. And doing things right is to ensure that you take out waste. There's so much waste if you are to use the bus. The bus has a lot of waste, including even sometimes the risk involved and the parcel not getting to its destination. That's waste. So take off the waste and then make sure that you adopt a certain element that will ensure proper delivery. So the balance between the two is that in terms of efficiency, you say high efficiency, and that is low waste. That must go hand in hand with high effectiveness. That is the high goal attainment. Everything is high. So high efficiency must go hand in hand with high effectiveness. That's high goal achievement or achievement. So our company can be highly efficient at making the product that we have. Okay, the product that we have and the product that nobody wants to buy. So because we are not known, I see the courier services. Who knows us? Nobody knows us. So maybe people may not want to buy us. People may not want to use our services. But if we bring in efficiency, okay, and effectiveness, then we are able to transform that kind of system that nobody wants to now a highly demand organization. And so it will be very easy, or in no time, you will see us attaining our goal of becoming the best or the number one courier services in Ghana. Please, do we understand up to this point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So we are saying that it is out of this that the school of thought evolved. It is out of this simple principle that I've explained that the school of thoughts evolved. So to be able to do this very well, then you need certain skills. So if you go to an organization, we have different levels. We have employees, okay, because it is the level you are and the skill you need. So we have employees who are sometimes new hires and new people who have just joined the organization, or sometimes people who are finding their roots. There are people who can stay in the organization for so long a time that they have not still found themselves and what they can do to help. So they are being rotated around here and there, and they are always employees. They don't get into leadership because they cannot do anything. They cannot do much. So they run shift system, and some of them maybe sometimes become supervisors, and another time you see that they are employees. So we have the general employees who are in the organization. Okay, sometimes they need to be coached, they need to be trained, they need to be told what to do because they are employees. Now, when you move on top of these people, we have the line managers, people who are in first line management, or they are supervisors, team leaders. Okay, they are supervisors. So that side, you need some skills, because before you be appointed as a supervisor, you need to have some certain skills. You should need to know, you need to understand. Sometimes they put you in a specialized group and they say that for this specialized group, you are the supervisor. Okay, that's another level of that. Then on top of these people, we have the middle managers. So they manage the work of the first line of managers. So the supervisors and the first line manager, their work is being supervised by these middle managers. And the middle manager sometimes includes maybe operational manager. Then you have maybe we have operational manager, maybe finance manager, something like that, human resource manager. Then you have maybe a divisional head, maybe your sector. For example, in our organization, ICD Career Service, we will be working before you realize we have a Accra branch, and then we have Kumasi branch. So these are divisions. Then the divisions will have their managers, okay, so who are managing those operations. We have marketing manager, procurement manager, finance manager, human resource manager, and so on and so forth. Then you go to the top of these people, we have the senior management or the top managers. And sometimes the top managers includes the board. You have the board of directors or the board of governors or the council. They are on top. We have the CEO or the COO, Chief Operating Officer, Chief Executive Officer, the general manager. Those people are on top. Sometimes it's just one person. Sometimes it's a board, a group of people, committee. They are in charge. So some large organizations, you realize that for them, it is a group, it's a committee, and the committee are the ones responsible. Committee that is called board of directors or the board. They are the ones in charge. So for each of these various levels, organizational levels, there are certain skills that are required. And the skills are grouped according to technical skills, according to human or interpersonal skills, then conceptual skills. So let me explain them briefly. When you talk about technical skills are normally the job-specific knowledge and proficiencies that you need. So you go to an organization, the people in the marketing department, they are supposed to be having skills in marketing. Procurement, you're supposed to be having skills in procurement, okay? Skills, so sometimes knowledge can only be acquired when you go through training. So procurement, if you understand procurement, it is because you have gone through training, which is formal and informal training. So once you have a degree in procurement, it is assumed that you have some knowledge in procurement. So they will be placed in the procurement office. That is what we mean by technical skills. Those who have done ICT or computer science, cybersecurity, they will be placed in the ICT department, and they have the technical skills for that. A procurement student may not have technical skills for ICT, the same as an ICT student may not have technical skills for procurement. So you cannot be mixing them like that. When you do that, then say you have placed what square pegs in round holes, as they say. But sometimes, based on informal training, maybe an ICT student or someone can have procurement training because they have had informal training, and that is what happens on the job when they recruit you, they train you on the job. Then we have the human or interpersonal skills, where because we are going to be relating with one another as humans in the organization, we are not machines. So we must have that kind of skills. You must understand that you work with people, and so you need to have human relationship skills where you can relate very well with people. When you are placed in a team or your supervisors, if you're a supervisor, your superiors, those above you, and those subordinate, those below you, you should be able to work with them. Also, working with your peers. Sometimes you may be in a classroom with some people and you relate very well, but if it changes to become an organization, you will see the drift. You see how you struggle, because how people behave in terms of social cycles is different from how they behave in terms of when they are asked to do a certain work. And you know that nobody wants to really work, especially this Gen Z and these millennials and all. You know the theories about work and how we have McGregor's theory will tell you we have theory X and theory Y, where some people are naturally lazy because not because of who they are, but because of the generation that they are born into. Okay, and some people you need to shape them before they can work, before they will want to do some work. So even though there are people in the organization, people that you have hired, they have all the qualifications, all the skills, but it becomes difficult for them to work. So you need the human relational or interpersonal skills to be able to work very well. And this is equally critical across all levels. Across all levels, human or interpersonal skills is very, very, very critical. Sometimes the board, you hear that the board, they are fighting in a meeting Why should that happen? Those are the top. You may think that it's only the employees who fight. No, the board could be fighting in a meeting, and that is also not good, or it's not pleasant. Then we have conceptual skills, where there's ability to think. So when you are given a task to do, let's say you are an employee and you are asked to send this particular parcel to the VIP station so that we can do a delivery, you have to think. It's not because they ask you to go to Circle, then you are just, sometimes some employees, the moment a task is given, then they will not even think, they just give an answer. They don't have what you call conceptual skills. You should be able to take in, then decode the message and see that, so what and what can I do to make this work that has been given, this task that has given to me, make it better, so that I can also achieve in my own corner. And that is something that you need to be able to do. Everybody, we all have the God-given talent of being able to put our minds to work, being able to pull our minds so that we can do some innovation. The innovation and those conceptual thinking and strategic thinking is not reserved for some group of people. It is for all of us, because we are all born with the same mind. And so therefore, everybody in their corner should be able to conceptualize things. Okay. The ability to think and to conceptualize about abstract and complex situations. It is raining. You have been asked, or the task for you this morning is to deliver a parcel to Accra. But this morning it is raining. So what will you do? The work needs to be done. How are you going to conceptualize this? Okay, in this very complex situation, so that you can get the work done? Or are you going to sit down and wait so that to get to evening when the rains will stop? Then that is when you will start thinking on what to do. And so if you are not able to do it tomorrow, when your superiors come to ask you, are you able to achieve? Then you give an excuse that, oh, because it was raining. Most of the time, that is what employees do, giving excuses because they are not thinking conceptually. They don't have, or they are not able to develop. It's not like they don't have, they have it, but they haven't been able to develop their conceptual skills so that when complex situations arises, they can still do something about it and what achieve. The goal is to achieve. And if we want to achieve within 1 hour, say delivering our parcels within 1 hour, why should it be obstructed because of a rain? Okay, or because of something that you could have done something about? Because we know that rains in Ghana, it's a different level. But if it is not a force majeure, if it is not something that will frustrate the work, then the work must go on regardless, so that we can put our excuses on a very minimal level. Okay, that is conceptual skills. Please, any questions? Any questions up to this point? Any questions up to this point? Joseph Afol. Joseph Afol. Are you there?
Yeah, I am here. Yeah, I can. There is a question in the chat. I don't know whether you can look at it then.
Okay. But do you have a question? You also.
No, sir.
Okay. All right. So let me see the chat. The chat. Can a manager be efficient but not effective? Somebody said, regional manager, thanks for the contribution. But this question, can a manager be efficient but not effective? Okay, let's go back to Kingsley. Let's listen to Kingsley. Kingsley.
Okay. So good morning.
Always the hands up overrides those who write in chat, because the hands up, maybe the person has raised his hand whilst he's at home. So I don't want him to be tired. I don't want his hand to be tired. So Kingsley, go ahead.
My question is the difference between efficiency and effectiveness. Are the two mutually exclusive, or does one override the other?
What do you think?
Yeah, I was thinking about, once there's efficiency, there will be effective. effectiveness. Hello, sir.
I'm listening.
Yeah, I was thinking the efficiency should be will come first because that will lead us to the goal, the end goal. And so I was thinking that there could be one, and one will certainly lead to the other.
Okay, so maybe you got it wrong.
All right, sir.
Okay, so they are not mutually exclusive. Okay, they are not. And ideally, one should not override the other. They are not. Instead, they are complementary halves. They complement each other. Okay, if you want to be successful, and you see, as I answer your question, the question in the chat from Gabriel Kosiapao to is also being answered as well. The two must interact, and this is how they interact. Or if you want to understand, it helps to look at them as two distinct dimensions. You have to see that there are two distinct dimensions of performance. So we have one which is resource utilization, and that is the resource utilization is efficiency, and then the other one is goal achievement. So efficiency alone does not go to goal achievement. Okay, so if you are just being efficient, so somebody can just be efficient alone, but you being efficient alone, how are you achieving? Unless you bring in effectiveness. Effectiveness is goal attainment. The achievement of the goal is in effectiveness. So if you say that this leader is effective, that means the leader is achieving what he set out to achieve. But somebody can criticize you and say that, okay, he's achieving the goal, but how is he achieving the goal? And say that, oh, it took him 8 years before he built one hospital. And this president, it took him 1 year, and he has built a hospital. Both of them have built hospital, is that not so? But the efficiency is missing. The efficiency part is missing. Because the efficiency part helps us to measure how long it will take for a president to build a hospital. And so therefore, when we use that as a test to measure, then we can come out to say that this president did well, and this president also did worse or did not do well, even though they both built hospitals. Now, the one who took 8 years to build will be assessed because of efficiency. And the one who used 1 year to build will also be assessed because of efficiency. Then at the end of the day, even though in the eyes of man, because a hospital is attained in 1 year, and on the another angle, a hospital was attained in 8 years, somebody can come because of the test. If the test is done very well, it could even come out to say that the person who used 8 years to build one hospital did even better because of efficiency. Because that person eliminated waste. But somebody built 1 year, and it could mean that. So the two must work as a complementary house together to measure. Now, the dimensions are many. For example, you could look at the focus. If you look at the focus in terms of efficiency, focus on the means, how things are done. And effectiveness is at the end. Effectiveness always comes in terms of focus at the end. What is achieved? What is achieved? Okay, what is achieved at the end? Then you look at the goal. Yes, Kingsley. Go ahead.
Yeah, I like the example you cited about politics. So let's assume you have the current economic situation now vis-a-vis the inflation rate, the exchange rate compared to previous administration. If someone says the officials of this government says that we are better managers of the economy because we have brought inflation from this to the lower decade exchange rate from days to dates, is it fair to say that show us what you have done without accepting the fact that yes, they have been that effective when it comes to the indicators being cited here?
So that's what I'm saying that. That's what I'm saying that you have to use the tool to measure them. First of all, the question is, did they set out to do that? If you are talking in terms of in exchange rate or interest rate, first of all, you need to look at the goal. Was the goal to set out to reduce the inflation rate? Was that the goal? That's the first question that you need to ask. Now, if that's the goal, what kind of means was adopted in achievement of the goal? Sometimes, if you go to the house, a parent may have maybe, let's say, 10 children in the house. 10 children in the house. There are two parents, two different homes. They both have 10 children. Now, there's one house. He is making sure that all the 10 children are in school. And they are in school. And they go to school with one uniform, one school bag. Okay? They are in school, but each of them is having one uniform. And they have one school bag. Sometimes when they come to class, they don't even have books because there are many children. So they manage the resources of the home. Both parents are being paid. They are working at the same place and they are being paid the same salary and all those things. The fathers are being paid the same salary. And so the first man ensures that he distributes the salary so that all the 10 children can go to school. Then you go to the other house. The other house says that my children are many. My salary is mega. So I will ensure that they go to school one after the other. So one person will go to school and finish everything. Before now, I come and start another child. So at any point in time, they have just one child in school. And that one child has everything. He comes to school every day, he's in a different uniform, looking nice. New shoes, new bag, all the books, textbooks and all the SIS books. If you are measuring these two parents, how would you measure them? Who is being efficient and effective? Who is managing his home very well? The other one, all the children are going to school. Sometimes in the house, they eat gari. They don't have anything. They eat gari. The other one, because 9 children are staying home, the man is able to utilize resources on one child. And then you go to the house, they are always eating corned beef and rice. So do you see it? That is how it is. Kingsley, are you there?
All right, sir.
Have you, Kingsley, are you seeing it?
Exactly, sir. I'm following you.
That is the picture. That's the picture. So it is about the measure. And the measure, as we go through the course, you understand that the measure is always set from the beginning. When you are planning, you set the measure as well. So if my vision is to become the #1 courier service in Kumasi, or the one that you cited, did the manager set out to say that we are going to achieve a low inflation or inflation of 7 or 5% by the end of 2025 or 2026? Is that the goal? If that is the goal, then let's look at how they have the means that they have adopted. Is it that they shut everything and decided to put all the money in inflation so that inflation will come down? So is the other elements, if you talk about economics, you say the microeconomic indicators. Is the other micro and macroeconomic indicators, are they suffering or they are also being attended to? Like the 9 children are at home and only one child is being catered for, or all the 10 children are going to school? That's a question that you need to ask. So you don't measure based on just one. Okay, because if you are government, even though we are not doing that, but if you are government, then it should be on all the elements. And that is how, as a management student, you can measure the government and say this government is competent or this government is incompetent. When we do communication, we will understand what we mean by saying that somebody is competent and somebody is incompetent. All right. So let me take another question from Joseph Aful. Joseph.
Yes, sir. So about the efficient but not effective. So let's say in simple terms, can I also, it's like the efficient but not effective is doing the wrong thing, the wrong job very well. Is that so? I just want to find out.
What
And then
what is the wrong job? Doing a wrong job. So what's the wrong job? Explain it. I understand, but explain it to your friends in class.
Let's say I am a manager, and then I am a manager in an organization or something. So a budget was given to me. So let's say I complete a budget quickly under a project quickly under a budget. That's let's say that's for the efficiency. But if the project does not meet the customer needs or the organization objectives, so the manager does not become effective. So that's my main understanding. When I do the complete a project quickly under a budget, and then the project does not meet customers' needs, that one, the manager not become effective. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's true. So you are right. I have a story that I always tell students. Sometimes they understand, sometimes they understand, but it's up to you. When you are clearing a path, those of us and those of you who live in the village before, or who are still living in the village, we say that yakobokwan. You know what it means. If your family is having a land in the bush or in the forest, then you must go and create a path or pathway to be able to get there. So there was this group of villagers who wanted to create a pathway. They were looking for water. They saw that one of them saw that there was a stream in the forest. And so once the stream has been found, then the villagers will go and clear the pathway or create a pathway so that they can always go there and fetch water. Now, when they set forth to do, there was a leader, and then they said that this is where they will use. So they started clearing. They worked the whole days from morning up to sometime in the evening. Now, one of them realized that, you do that. Why? So he climbed one of the trees. When you climb a tree, you see far, you see the stream and everything. He climbed one of the trees and realized that, the path that we are clearing, it's like a and so baby idea fano achia. We have taken a detour, okay, and it has meandered to another side. If we continue, it's going to take us like a month. We'll still not get to the stream. Meanwhile, if we had concentrated very well, so when he saw that, then he shouted from the top, wrong way. But he shouted in Fanti. So I'm not going to say the Fanti for you people to laugh at me. Yeah. So he shouted in Fanti and said, wrong way. Okay. And that is where the story ends. So you can be doing the wrong thing and be doing it. Or if you bet you will be doing it. As if say you are working. So that's why you go to a working site. There are some people there, we call them loafers, social loafers. They are not doing anything, but go and bring the blocks. They will not carry some. They will be following and be helping as if said they are carrying, they are doing this, they are doing that. But by the end of the day, but they did nothing, practically nothing. Okay, so you can be doing the wrong thing and be doing it as if say you are doing the wrong thing. Sometimes you do the wrong thing, you do it well. You do it well, pa. Okay, you do it well. So that is very, 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 very true. Let's take Momoni. Momoni. And Momoni will be the last person. Momoni. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Just a add up contribution to the diagram we did about the ICD courier service.
Okay.
So, first of all, we need to analyze the aim for which the service is being, in fact, created to render. Then we look at the relationship between where it is in Accra and Kumasi. Then, with the aid of a diagram, we'll bring management in the middle. So, now we look at the purpose of it. Carrier service shipping people's orders from Accra to Kumasi and back. So we'll consider the available mode of transport, which we can make and get things there in real time and then at cost effective. Number two, what we need to establish is to create key KPIs that we can use to measure our performance, which of course include time, waste reduction, cost management, reliability. And then we also need to consider feedback from the customers to ascertain whether we are getting things right. For instance, there's Ghana International Airline, which is into logistics, that moves logistics, raw materials within the West Africa or Africa regional bodies, which of course enhance how fast raw materials are being shipped, in contrast to shipping them by land and then by sea, which of course their cost is effective. And then we also contrast with other global or external competitors, which will also compete with us for customer service. See 2M Express. 2M Express, their buses are fast. So we need to get such mode of transport, or whether we can bring rail system that will fast track our movement. So in all, will play a critical role for the success of the career service which is being established.
Thank you very much. You've supported our company for
Thank you, sir.
our career services to really grow and achieve its strategic goals.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Okay. So please, that is that. So please, as we go, try and do more research into it, especially how the efficiency and effectiveness interact. Okay. Because most of the things that we'll talk about, we'll always be saying that you should be efficient, you should be effective, you should be this, you should be that. And so to be able to achieve the goals of the organization. So please have a look more into that. I'll send you the slides, I'll send you the outline so that you can go through it and prepare very well before we meet again next week. So we'll end here for today, and then so I can prepare for the next class. And then we'll meet, God willing, next week. God bless everyone.
Hello, sir, Doc.
Yes, sir.
Hello, Doc.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. Oh, I just called to say hello to you.
Who is speaking?
It's Nat.
Nathaniel. Okay. Nat.
Yeah, yes. Okay.
Okay.
I'm enjoying your class very well, so it's very good. Yeah. So keep it up, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Nat. Okay.
All right.
On that note, please, let's adjourn our meeting today. Then God willing, we'll meet next week. But hopefully, next week we will. I hope you made some notes, but I'll send you the slides on today's discussions, and then we'll have some other things to do. All right. So God bless you, and I wish you well in the other classes. Bye-bye.
Yeah. So, to you, sir.
Yes, sir. Good night, sir.
Yeah.
Hey, just a quick one. What is good night here? Hey,
It's not good night.
we are
No,
not going to meet him again.